right, we are inside of 30 seconds on the countdown clock, headed for the championship main event of the wrap-up to this Pontiac Silverdome doubleheader. Damon Bradshaw intent on revenge with Guy Cooper? Let's hope not. Let's focus on the title to be won. Jeremy McGrath's mechanic right there, certainly thinking about nothing but that as he sends Jeremy off for this point-paying championship feature. Who do you like, Myers?
Well, it's an important race for a couple of reasons. One, Jeremy McGrath is on an extended losing streak now. He's lost one in a row, and I think we're going to see if he can rebound. That's going to be the interesting point to me. Is Jeremy backpedaling now as he tries to maintain his slot, Dave?
I don't think so. Judged by this start, the gate drops, the field charges turn one, and McGrath goes straight to the front, and Damon Bradshaw went straight to the back. Bradshaw was last into the first turn, if you can believe that. I don't know what has happened to this guy. There is number 12. You saw him starring in the semifinal. Matasevich, Cooper also away. But look at this kid. McGrath making up for last night is gone.
Well, that question was answered. Is Jeremy McGrath backpedaling while he holds position? Nope. He's gone to the front, and he's looking for another win.
Got a couple of Suzuki kids to challenge him here. Number 31, Phil Lawrence, up in the second spot. Last night's winner, Mike Kudrowski, trying to work through the traffic with the Swinkster to contend with. Number 19 from right here in Michigan is Brian Swink. Hadn't had a great season. He's got Jeff Emig on his tail. Here are the Suzuki guys running second and third. Factory Phil Lawrence in the number 2 spot on number 31. Behind him comes 23, Denny Stevenson. And then it's the Kawasaki of last night's winner, Kudrowski. Cooper out of shape over the jump.
No surprise there. Cooper quite frequently does that. Always recovers. We had a quick look at Jeff Stanton, who's running somewhere around mid-pack. A disastrous start for Stanton. In fact, he was back 13th or 14th place.
And that's one of the reasons that you see the crowd sitting rather glumly at this moment. They came to see Stanton get his championship back on track. And instead, they're watching last night's winner, Kudrowski, moving his way to the front. He's up to split the two Suzuki kids on his Kawasaki and sets his sights on Lawrence, the number 2 man.
I don't know if McGrath is cutting new ground or territory here in Supercross, but if we were to look, McGrath is so far out in front now. While here comes Kudrowski, and Stanton is back behind him. These guys are still jockeying for position. They're looking for running room on the track, and they're not riding up to their full potential. McGrath, however, is going just flat out, and he's leaving them. So if they ever do get in position, he's gone. And look at this, Bradshaw from the back of the pack, trying to work his way up to contention. If he gets there, it's going to be too late because McGrath, as I said, is just going to be gone.
Man, he started all the way in the back. I think we owe a call to Phil Lawrence. We have not seen this kid perform like this before. He's challenged here by Kudrowski and meets the challenge.
Good point. Lawrence is a 125cc rider from the West Coast. He's contending for that title, as a matter of fact. We'll see how he does when we come back.
We're back at the Silverdome Supercross doubleheader. Last night's winner, Mike Kudrowski, challenged for third spot by Denny Stevenson. If this race continues at its present pace, the phones will light up in Cherry Valley. Whoa, we've got trouble. Jeff Stanton is down and appears to be out.
It's Larry. It looks like Larry Brooks. It is Larry Brooks. I'm not sure what he did there, Dave. It looked like he was on Stanton's bike, but I think he had just picked Stanton's bike up off Jeff Stanton, was trying to get it out of the way, and now Brooks is going over to tend to his own bike. I'm not sure. Here, watch the upper right-hand corner. There. Brooks went over the handlebars, and you can just see Stanton colliding with Brooks's motorcycle. Now Stanton ends up on the ground with his motorcycle on top of him. There's Brooks, and Brooks looks around, and the first thing he does, you can't say enough for that young man in doing that. He picked the bike up off of Stanton and not worrying about his own position. I imagine he's rather shook up there. The ambulance crew tending to Stanton. Meanwhile, Kudrowski has taken over the number 2 position. He didn't stop to look at the wreck. He said, I guess I've been in a couple of these, and I don't need to know what's going on. He made the pass.
Well, the point is that the racing does continue away from the crash scene. There was concern, obviously, for Jeff Stanton as the crews were there quickly and are still there. And Stanton went down hard, was not moving around very much. Brooks got the motorcycle off of him. Now the medical crews are there. And again, the crowd sits stunned as Jeff Stanton, the reigning champion, on the backboard, being carried off the racetrack here in his home state of Michigan after a hard hit.
Oh, that's really bad. That's Jeff's wife behind him, his mechanic, Dave Arnold from Team Honda. following in close suit. An awful lot of friends here, all of the family, obvious, you know, watching here, and they're as stunned as we are. There's virtually no noise from the audience. Pontiac has not been good to Jeff Stanton. You know, it cost him a title here a couple of years ago, and title is nothing to even think about it at this point. Obviously, Jeff it looks like he's hurt bad.
Well, the concern, of course, is for the champ's well-being as Jeremy McGrath leads it out front. We'll be back with more after we take this break in Pontiac. Last night he was a question mark. Tonight he is an exclamation point. Jeremy McGrath demonstrating clearly that he is back after a bad night last night. Hey, I guess even a rookie is about to have an off night. Boy, he's been sensational here this evening.
Let's check the interval clock between McGrath and the rest of the field. Here comes Kidrowski in second place, and I make it to be just about 11 seconds. But Kidrowski is back behind the youngster from Murrieta, California. Here comes third place, Jeff Emig. Fourth place belongs to Denny Stevenson. And here comes Brian Swink out of Linden, Michigan. He's the last Michigan hopeful in this. If you've just tuned in, Jeff Stanton injured a while ago. And our word is, Dave, that when they loaded him in the ambulance, he was regaining consciousness. And he did have full movement of all of his limbs. So, you know, we can be thankful that there's that much going on.
Encouraging signs for Stanton, who will go to the hospital for the obligatory checkup. We pick up the action among some guys who ran very well in their heat race. Phil Lawrence, number 31, has dropped back now into the clutches of number 12, Jeff Matasevich. He has been passed by number 24, Mike Craig. And following that pair comes Steve Lamson, number 21, who won his heat race in a battle with Phil Lawrence. So that is the best race on the racetrack right now. You can see they're within striking distance of Swink. So
Matasevich has something wrong with his motorcycle. I'm not sure if we're looking at a radiator situation there or oil that's tumbling out and smoking, but it seems like every time he lands there, see there? You just see a whole bunch of either steam or smoke. It's hard to tell from our vantage point where that is coming from.
As we watch that battle continue, the question becomes, will the motorcycle live? And the question, will Mike Craig crash again, also seems relevant at this point. This is your fifth place action right here, and it changes dramatically as the clock finally ran out on Phil Lawrence. He was pushing it pretty hard, tipped her over, and he's going to be back outside the top 10.
Well, again, Phil Lawrence has been riding 125s most of the season on the Western Regional Championship runs and doing very well out here tonight. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's no disrespect at all to Crash. A lot of great racers have said over the years that that's how you determine if you're going fast. You get it out there, you tip it over, and then you know you got to step back just a half a step from that edge.
That's always been my philosophy.
Yeah, right. You keep falling out of the broadcast booth as a result. Number 23 has also had a good run tonight. Denny Stevenson has been up closer to the front than we've seen in recent weeks. Michael Craig, picking himself up off the ground after a couple of hard crashes last night, has run very well here this evening. Swink trying to get himself back into top form. Got a new haircut here. No hair at all. Shaved his head for the hometown race. Hadn't seemed to help.
Well, if he take his helmet off, the aerodynamics of that particular haircut might help. But that looked good. A couple of great moves as he moves into the number 4 position.
Yeah, that was a nice pass. It's unusual to make one pass there. He got around both guys, taking Stevenson for the 4th spot and leaving Craig now back in 6th position. Up front, Jeremy McGrath continues the runaway. You're not missing a thing. This is where the action is right now as they battle to see who will be the final man on the podium. Swink trying to salvage something for the Michigan fans, as you mentioned. Jeff Stanton now a question mark for next week's race in Indianapolis, but no question that Jeff Stanton's hopes of winning this championship, like Damon Bradshaw's, have been a victim of crashes here in Pontiac.
So in this doubleheader, we've lost both Bradshaw and Stanton to the championship clutches or championship to Jeremy McGrath, and they're currently running in the number 1 and 2 positions.
Kudrowski needs to get up there and pass Jeremy McGrath right now, but he's no chance of doing that. 10 seconds back, so we stick with this action and watch Craig battling for 5th spot, taking that position from Denny Stevenson. Craig finally gets it around Stevenson. Took him a long time to make that pass, but it's to his credit that he kept after it until he got it done. We'll be back for the finish right after this. We're back. We're following the action for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th positions. Guy Cooper comes into the frame here momentarily. Number 7, David Bradshaw never got up there and got a shot at him tonight.
Well, and Steve Lamson makes a good move. He moves into the number 7 position. That drops Stevenson back to 8th, and the battle there for the number 9 slot. That's where you don't want to be in that fracas is Guy Cooper. Cooper squirts ahead to the number 8 position as he passes Stevenson. Cooper has come a long way from out of the pack. He didn't start all that badly, but he went backwards there in the early lap, but now he's regrouped, and the Stillwater, Oklahoma veteran has come on strong and is putting in a pretty good ride here.
And Bradshaw, for what it's worth, has climbed from dead last to the tail end of the top 10. I suppose there's a chance he might still catch up with Cooper, and we could get some fireworks out of that yet.
Oh,
Mike Kedrowski. Mike Kedrowski on the ground after winning it last night. Can you believe this? The 3rd championship hopeful of the weekend to take a huge shot to his title hopes.
I have to think, Dave, that, you said what he had to do was to get up there and pass McGrath, and we kind of chuckled and said that's about an impossibility. I have to think that Kedrowski was trying. He was just letting it all hang out. He was looking for the points. He needed to make that pass. He needed to beat McGrath. And this is not going to put him out of it completely. It dropped him back a ways, but he's still in contention.
Here's your 3rd and 4th place battle now as Swink has moved into 3rd position and could finish on the podium tonight. Michael Craig now in 4th spot as a result of that misfortune for Kedrowski. You're exactly right. Kedrowski had nothing to lose. I mean, go for it. Try to get up there and make the pass. If he didn't beat McGrath in the last 3 or 4 races, it wasn't going to matter anyway.
There's Jeff Emig. He's in the number 2 position. Emig has come on strong the last few events. He was 2nd in Charlotte just a couple of races ago. He was ill, I think mononucleosis, if I'm not mistaken, in the early part of the season, and it's good to have Emig back racing strong.
Well, Yamaha's tickled to see him making this charge because with Damon Bradshaw starting last and struggling to get into the top 10 tonight, somebody's got to carry the hopes for that team. Emig is doing it very nicely as we prepare to wrap things up here on Sunday afternoon in Pontiac. We're back at the Pontiac Silverdome. The laps are winding down. It's all over but the shouting and the champagne unless this guy does something real dumb. And I predict that won't happen. Larry, I have trouble remembering the big numbers. How many is McGrath going to win here tonight?
This will be his 7th victory of the season. More importantly, it answers the question, is McGrath going to fold under the pressure? Last night we thought maybe that was a possibility. Tonight he came back and said, watch my stuff. He has been strutting it hot and heavy. And, man, color this season just about over last lap. Kedrowski is still in it mathematically, but McGrath is really going to have to fold in order for Kedrowski to be up and have a shot at this thing, Dave.
I was going to say, Larry, pressure from whom? I mean, Stanton's gone, Bradshaw's in 10th or something, and McGrath has pulled out to something like a 12 or 15-second lead now, and Kedrowski's picked himself up off the ground for the 3rd time tonight and is outside the top 10. I don't see much pressure on this. He's
kind of waving at the crowd now, having himself a good time as he jabbed the number 1 sign at him and said, there you are, Pontiac fans. I know you wanted to see another guy up there. We're both on Hondas, though, which, Dave, let me just quickly throw in. We had a note slid in front of us. Jeff Stanton is in a very good shape. He's fully awake, and all of his limbs are functioning properly, so that's very good news from the hospital.
All right, we're happy to hear that for McGrath. What a story. A rookie comes into the 250 class to do as rookies do, pay his dues, learn the ropes from the big stars, figure out how to deal with the intensity of the competition and all the rest of that, and he blitzes him. He runs away from him. He wins his 7th main event of the year. Jeff Emig comes home. Somewhat surprising 2nd here tonight as he got things together in a hurry, and look how far behind Jeremy McGrath he is as he shakes his head and says, well, that last little mistake isn't going to hurt me. I am home free with a runner-up finish. Good to see Jeff come back.
Boy, he is a long way back, isn't he? That just shows you what McGrath had going for him, and that's it's been his way. It's been his winning ways all season. Get the hole shot or get the lead early and then just pour it on, and that's what McGrath did.
That's the style of the kid, 22 years old from Murrieta, California. He is the top dog in Supercross 1993, and from all indications, he can waltz from here to the national championship. He'll become the first rookie in the history of the series to do that. And as you see from the crowd reaction, still some disappointment. They came here to watch Stanton win tonight. Emig, Swink, Craig, and Lamson round out the top 5. A lot of young talent in that field. Cooper, Stevenson, Bradshaw, Palmer, and Kalos the top 10. Let's hear from the winner.
Jeremy, last night things just weren't going the way you're used to having them go. Tonight, you look right back in perfect form.
Seems like every time we have a week off, you know, I come back a little bit rusty, you know, even if I have been riding the whole time. But, you know, tonight went very well for me. You know, I couldn't have done it without all these fans and my, you know, Team Honda and all my sponsors. You know, one thing, Bob, I'd just like to wish my sister a happy birthday. Her birthday is Monday, tomorrow.
Happy birthday to you. You take a look at the point standings. We're going to go back trackside and hear from the race runner-up tonight. A very happy Jeff Emig with Bob Hanna.
Jeffrey, last night you pulled out of the race. Tonight you're in second place. What's the difference?
I think my head was on a little crooked last night. I had a really great heat race. And I don't know. I think I'm psyching myself out a little bit. Definitely. You know, I got a good start this race. We're not real good. I think I was about 5th or something, but I just, I told myself, you know, not to give up like I did last night. You know, pretty much embarrassed myself last night when I pulled off. And, you know, and it's not like I'm trying to make up for it tonight. You know, I'm just trying to put myself where I should be.
And where he feels he should be is up here on the podium with the likes of Jeremy McGrath and Brian Swink, who's got to be tickled with third tonight. Final thoughts, Larry Myers, as we say goodbye to Pontiac.
Well, 2 thoughts. One off the track, of course, is with the family of Jeff Stanton, and we wish him well, and hopefully he'll be back racing at Indianapolis. On the track, Jeremy McGrath. What can we say? He won 7. He's looking for a single-season record.
For Hanna, Ekman, and Myers, I'm Dave Spain. See you next week.